Hi friends, it is Grace and welcome back to another video. I'm back after a bit of a break, like 2 or 3 weeks from when I went to the UK to visit Ben, and it was a lovely trip. I'm going to have multiple vlogs of the various locations we went to coming out for that. I'm also going to have a book haul coming out for like everything from the month of August. And basically I do have a bunch of videos that I consider really exciting lined up for the month of September, but appropriately the very first one that I am back with is my September TBR, my September reading plans, etc. So this is not an extensively long TBR, and I've kind of reverted back to the TBR format just for this rather than the MBR format, and I still have like the possibility to read more books, and I know that in my own head. The reason that I haven't made a list is because I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to read once I'm finished with this TBR. So we'll see. Like, it's gonna be a genuine mood reading situation there. I haven't even like committed myself to them by saying them out loud in this video. But with that being said, like I mentioned, I do have a TBR. And so there are 7 books on it, which sounds like a decent amount, like it doesn't sound short, but none of these books are overly long, which is nice because it feels really, really manageable. So first off, the audiobook that I'm hoping to listen to in the month of September is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, which is the second book in the Finlay Donovan series. I have that on hold at my library, so I am allegedly next in line for it in like 1 to 2 weeks. So I'm really hoping that comes through soon because I adored the first one. I loved it so much, and so I immediately went and put the second one on hold, but it's been a while. It's obviously a popular series that a lot of people want from the library, so I'm waiting for that, but it seems like it should come in this month, and that will be my audiobook for the month. And seeing as Ben is visiting me here this month, I will be like pretty much exclusively listening to it on my commute to and from work, so it's nice to only have one audiobook that I'm trying to get through, not trying to be too ambitious. I think that one will be doable. So next up, first physical book on the TBR, speaking of Ben, it is our continuation of the City Watch Discworld series buddy read, and that is Night Watch. This is the 6th book in the series, and I'm really excited for this one because I know that this book in particular holds a lot of popularity. People really seem to love Night Watch, and like, I mean, based on how much I have loved the City Watch books as a whole, just hearing that makes me think like, yeah, this is probably gonna be like 5 stars. I have admittedly high expectations, but it's not the type of book where I worry so much about those high expectations because it's hopefully just gonna be fun. So I think that this one has a murder mystery feeling, but this one has like a serial killer storyline. So it's like murder mystery times a million because it's continuous, like happening over and over. And that seems very, like, based on the amount of character development that we've gotten for the characters, I feel like we're at the point where we can have this sort of storyline for those characters, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that should be really fun. Me and Ben are both here in Canada with one copy of the book between us, so I'm not sure exactly how the buddy read is going to work logistically, but we'll figure it out. Then next up we have my patron pick for the month of September, and before I get into that, I just want to shout out and thank my latest patrons in terms of those who have joined or those who have like edited their pledges. So I want to thank Evie for being an apprentice librarian, and then for the master librarians, Meta and Jennifer, I want to thank both of you for joining as well. And I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledged that since it has been such a long time off, and I didn't want you guys to feel as though your thank yous had been forgotten. I've been planning to do them, just haven't been making videos. So with that said, I did the monthly wheel spin for the patron pick, where each person submits me a book that they want me to read, and one of them wins. And so the one for this month is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, and this was the pick from Andres. And this one is not overly long either, which I'm happy about. And this is also a book that has been on my TBR for a while, like about a year, because I bought this in August of 2021. I remember it because I bought it in like a Toronto book shopping vlog and haul that I did. So I remember exactly how long this has been on my TBR for. And this is basically what appears to be a Red Riding Hood retelling, but is actually a Beauty and the Beast retelling as far as I can tell. It might be a blend of both. I'm not really sure, but basically it is like the second daughter of a royal family is sacrificed to the wolf. The first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. So that is like obviously the succession vibes in this world. And I think that when our main character is sacrificed to the wolf, it is not what she was expecting, and our story develops from there. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this. Next up, we have a book that I have been looking forward to for quite some time, and I also have already started it a little bit because I couldn't wait. I didn't really have something to fill the last day and a half of August, which was a really awkward little time. And so that is Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. And not only have I heard great things about this particular book, but earlier this year I read Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey, and I love her as an author. Her writing is very like beautiful and raw and emotional, and I love the way that she writes about nature, and her protagonists tend to be like female field biologists who are I don't want to say traumatized, but they seem to be characters who have some emotional baggage, I guess. Like, they bring very kind of troubled pasts to the story, and it combines in a really interesting way with like the setting and the other characters. And it seems like this book, while different, is going to be very much in that same vein. So we have a character who's following the migrations of what is possibly the final flock in the world of Arctic terns. She wants to follow the birds, and she gets a vessel, a fishing vessel, to take her on, and the story unravels from there. So I'm already loving it because I do love, like I mentioned, the way that Charlotte McConaughey writes, and I think that this is really promising. So I'm just really excited to continue with it. Next up, we have Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung, and this is a collection of short stories, and I just want to read the description because I never get this quite right when I try and describe it myself. So it basically is a genre-defying collection of short stories, blurring the lines between magical realism, horror, and science fiction. Chung uses elements of the fantastic and surreal to address the very real horrors and cruelties of patriarchy and capitalism in modern society. And so this is translated. And I love the cover of it and the back cover. Honestly, the book itself is gorgeous. The concepts sound like things that I would be super interested in, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this like horror surrealist lens is going to combine with those like capitalist and patriarchal ideas. So I'm really excited for this, and yeah. This is something that is like slightly out of my comfort zone, but I feel like could go really well, and I have my fingers crossed for that. Next up, in yet another buddy read with Ben, who is shocked probably no one. But also a buddy read with Pete from Ponderings of Pete. We have The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu, and this, in terms of like the actual short stories in here, I genuinely know nothing about them. I just know that I want to read Ken Liu, and I have heard fantastic things about this collection, and in fact, Evie actually picked it this month, so I almost have like 2 patron picks, so this will get put in as a buddy read, and I will be able to give like Evie my thoughts on that and everything, and I'm really excited for it because I haven't read Grace of Kings or the Dandelion Dynasty yet, so this will be my first introduction to Ken Liu, and I feel like the bite-sized pieces of like reading these short stories will be a really cool way to be introduced, and I'm just really excited for it. Also, the book is gorgeous. I have always loved the cover of this, and looking at it just kind of excites me to think about getting into it. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how me, Ben, and Pete are gonna buddy read it. Since it is short stories, we may just be like giving our thoughts on a short story when we finish it. I think that probably makes the most sense, but we'll see. And yeah, really looking forward to it. Then last but certainly not least, I really messed that up. Sorry to ruin the drama of the reveal, but I have what is arguably the most popular recent release, just period. I mean, in fantasy, but just period. And that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. And I feel like she has really built an audience for herself that is beyond fantasy, because The Poppy War, while I haven't read it and I don't have immediate plans to, it blurs the lines. It is recognized outside of fantasy circles. So I feel like this release is really massive for that reason, and I am really excited for this. And so this is like an Indigo exclusive copy. I don't know if there's any extra content in here. I know that the cover is slightly different, and I think that this is really gorgeous. I do love this copy, and I'm glad that I got it because it was like a deal to get it, and I love pretty much all the covers that I've seen of this book, so I was perfectly happy to go for this one. And I don't know that anybody needs me to tell them what this book is about, because I'm sure that you have been hearing about it extensively, but I will just say that it is a historical fantasy epic that grapples with student revolutions, colonial resistance, and the use of language and translation as the dominating tool of the British Empire. So this, honestly, those concepts that she's exploring here just sounds so interesting to me. And in terms of like the historical fiction aspect and using like words and language to explore that, I think that it's the perfect book for book lovers, which sounds like a stupid thing to say, but I feel like it makes sense just because the ideas and concepts being explored are things that we as book lovers would generally be like inherently interested in. So I think that it's going to be really cool, and hopefully I will love it, and hopefully I will put out a glowing review for it after. So that is it for this TBR. There are 6 physical books on it and 1 audiobook, and after I finish these, hopefully I do finish them. Who knows what'll happen. But once again, Ben is visiting me until the 24th of September, and I have a lot going on, like in terms of just life stuff. So if this is all I get done, I will be perfectly happy with that. I think that this is a great lineup of books. It has some diversity, it has some fantasy, it has some things that are in my comfort zone and some things that are out of my comfort zone, and I'm just really excited. So thank you so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. Please like if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. I will be back to my regularly scheduled programming now, and I will, as always, have my Discord, Patreon, and socials linked in the description if you're interested in any of that stuff. And with that said, I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!